Oh, look, Undecember came out today. Cecilia, get my balaclava and my baseball bat.
This week in action.
Avarice and greed.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
what other horror stories could come of this?
We love 10 cents.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 35. As always, as two of my friends, two of my leaders, the people that truly run the channel, are here with me, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, gentlemen.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, yo.
And today is a special day. One, I've already been streaming for almost 9 hours, but there's 3 things happening today. Now, one, you might not know about it, but it is important to me. Today is the release of the NVIDIA RTX 4090, the best graphics card on the market. Today is the drop of Undecember, a new isometric action RPG built on Unreal Engine 4. And today is the release of Torchlight Infinite, another game in the Torchlight series, which is the game that I've been playing all day. So much to talk about. And since I've been streaming for so long, I'm going to sit back in my chair because these two handsome these two handsome angels are here. I don't want to give it to Guilty first because he has so much to rant about. So I'm going to give it to Daft first to bring down the octates. What's the word? To bring down the.
What are we going for?
Bring down the
Are you
level.
talking about getting people high so they don't care anymore?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Bringing down the level. Daft,
What's up?
which game are you playing? Undecember, Torchlight. Why? Give us your thoughts.
I'm playing Torchlight,
Oh, I'm gonna get comfy. Oh, this is nice.
and
Oh,
I guess the main reason is I'm more comfortable with the series in general. I just have played Torchlight for 10 years. I like it. It's fun. I don't mind the pet thing they got going. I'm not too concerned about the monetization in it, and it's smooth and it's playing well. I played Undecember too. I like it. But if I had to pick, I'd just obviously pick this one. There's just small differences, but I enjoy both. But Torchlight for me.
But think for a second with what you just said. I would obviously pick this one. Why? Like, what's the obvious about it?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine were, like I said, I know the series. The gameplay's super smooth. I like the class I've been playing, this mage class. The voice acting, everything's pretty on par. The art's cool. It just has a nice flow to it, and it's really smooth. I haven't had any issues with the gameplay or any loading or anything like that. So I guess ultimately that's why. Where Undecember is kind of the same way, but it just I don't know. I guess for me the monetization vibe,
Which part?
how it's just kind of, there's a lot of stuff you can buy that, or rent, if you will. So there's a lot of, it just feels like there's a lot more attached to it to just play the game normally. Where with Torchlight, you could get deep into pets if you want to put some money into that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's not really doing much for you. So yeah, that's the main reason, I think, is the monetization pushed me towards it, but it's not like a big deal. I mean, I could find myself playing Undecember and just playing it without all that stuff. But
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Guilty.
What's up?
I know you have a lot to say. Now, before we talk monetization,
I
there's
have
so much. Hold on. There's so
two
much to
things.
talk about. There's so much to talk about on monetization.
I only have 2 things to say about
Let's-
monetization.
Let's say that both games don't have a cash shop. Okay, let's just both. There's no gotcha system in Torchlight. There is no
Yeah.
paid cash shop in Undecember. Guilty, which game would you play?
I would play Torchlight,
Why?
but that goes into what I was going to say. Like, the thing I like best about Undecember is its skill system.
Okay.
I think that's the most unique thing about that game. And
I
actually,
do like that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like they developed the best ARPG ever, and then their overlord said, "Now make us money," and they had to whittle the stuff out of it. Like that's like, oh, take away all of the creature comforts and charge them for it. Which that's the first thing I have to say negative about it. That's what they did. They've designed a really cool game, and then removed the things that people want, and that's where the money's attached for the most part. And then the second thing is, you don't buy the pet ability, you rent it.
Yeah.
Like you're renting
$10 a month. It's $10 a month.
Yeah. Or you can buy 150 for 7 days. 150 rubies.
Yeah. But let's talk. I mean, if you're gonna rent it for 7 days, you're gonna get it for a month. Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So on top of the $200+ to get a full rack of tabs and whatnot, all the creature comforts, there's a $10 charge that does not come. It's not included with any type of. Well, they're not going to be seasons, but so that is essentially your season pass. But it is just essentially the ability to pick stuff up.
Yes.
That's just like a slap in the face.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's just a slap in the face.
Like I said, it's nothing excessive. It's just
it's that little thing.
It's like quality of life things you want that they're making you ultimately pay for. So
yeah. I'm like, I would be fine with just the tabs. I would buy the tabs. I like the game. But like, be happy with the fact that I'm buying the tabs for more than what an actual game costs.
So if you want the month of auto pickup and every quality of life, it's $225. I broke it down. That's exactly how much it costs. Yeah. So $225 gets you all quality of life for the game. Okay.
Right.
I feel like, Guilty, you are right. I think it's a fun game. I know Captain Neckbeard, he's in chat. He's cracking me up.
Yeah. What's up, Captain?
I love you, Cap.
It's
killing me.
I would never say a game's good when it's not good because a studio's paying me. And Undecember isn't paying me. And I think the game is really fun. Even if that, again, was the honeymoon period. I think the campaign's good. I thought the story was good. I thought the skills were good. I thought the mapping of the stars was good. Crafting was even okay. My two big gripes, one is monetization, and two is gear. Inside of Undecember, it is not focused around looting, which is just such a problem.
It's focused around buying.
It's focused around that person that did get a good drop and then put it into the auction house, and then you have to spend real money to get that auction house.
Yeah, it was very light feeling, the whole loot fact. It just
Torchlight loot in the current build. Have you guys experienced a drought?
No.
I have.
I have found at least 20 uniques, maybe more.
20?
I found one.
You'll find more.
But what level are you? Yeah.
68.
Yeah. I'm talking about even common stuff's not dropping.
Right.
It's like it's just a drought.
Well, in my defense, I'm already on intermediate loot filter as well. So I'm already on the second tier of loot filter.
Taking out all the early stuff, the whites.
I have had no drought on gear, and I feel like I would notice that. I will say I'm much better with the trade house now, which makes me a little scared.
I haven't used the trade house at all.
I know how to filter it, search for it, look for bases, and sell stuff now. And I sold my first item. So I mean, but again, you cannot spend money in any way to buy stuff in the trade house. You have to find the currency, or you have to find an item to sell in the trade house to get the currency, which is perfect, right?
So I went from getting stuff I didn't need. Like I'd be playing Commander Moto, and I'd be getting stuff for like melee weapons. And it's like, no, I'm running minions. I need stuff that's minions, and I wouldn't get any minion gear.
Oh, you're talking.
And then I would play.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I would be playing Thea, which I was playing Thea the last night or night before, and I was getting minion gear.
Well, you can save it, put your
Okay, hold on a second. I just want to be clear with what you're saying. You're not saying that the game is manipulating drops to ensure that you're not getting the items for your character.
No, I'm just saying I'm unlucky.
You are. Well, of course.
I don't know. I don't think they're manipulating anything in that regard. I don't know what their RNG is like on the drops, but I know that multiple persons in voice chat were talking like, yeah, we were playing as so-and-so, and every drop we were getting was for someone else. So
I mean, I'm playing a mage character, and I'm getting a mixture of wands, staffs, and then a ton of swords and shields and stuff. So I'm getting more of the swords and shields and daggers and stuff I wouldn't use. But I'm getting enough for me to choose from. And I'm doing like an elemental thing. I don't want the minion. I don't need this. I have a sentry that I'm using. I use the ice sentry, the beam one. That's pretty fun because you can, and teleporting around. So you can teleport around your beams and you have this beam in the middle just constantly damaging everything. But
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. I've like my whole build right now it's an AoE. All my skills are AoE, and you know how before I was doing it's similar to the one you watched me play.
Yep.
But I took out the ice sphere, I think it is, that shot, and I got the AoE. So I have AoE on top of AoE on top of the movement AoE. So I can just sit there and kind of like because you can move every like 2.5 seconds or something. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm finding gear okay, but I'm only level 22, so I'm not super deep in it.
This is what I found myself doing towards the end of the stream. I was like, oh, my character's slowing down. I'm now running level 70 or level 70 runs, but I'm only level 60, so my character's getting slower. So I find myself more and more in the trade house trying to be like, find gear upgrades that I can purchase to then make my character stronger. But I mean, ultimately it worked out because I ended up finding better gear for a cheap price, right? And I remember back in the day when I played PoE, like religiously, my wife would always say, Aaron, you literally are just buying and selling items. You literally, like, you're not even playing the game. I was like, yeah, but my character is getting so much stronger without even playing. Yeah, but she's like, that defeats the to do what? Like, what? Like, you're not doing anything. So I hope it doesn't get to that point with Torchlight. And I don't think it will because I have none of the currency. So, but again, you can only get the trade house currency from drops in game and from selling an item. So technically you could sell an item and then use that currency to buy another item and then sell that item. And you could just, if you're really good at managing this trade shop, you could build it, but that would require skill. It would require knowledge. It would require time. It would, so if you were able to do that, you earned it. You earned it instead of just swipe.
It's not
I got the best stuff.
Exactly. I don't feel the swipe. Exactly. It's not the swipe. There's just a little bit of it in the pets, and that's all I know. And I don't know how impactful overall it is because we haven't done too much of research, obviously, yet.
I have a theory. Everyone's like, oh, I haven't spent any money and I'm already like so-and-so up the chain. And yeah, that's true. They are current. But when everyone's at the end of endgame, that's probably not going to be the case. When you've got all the gear you can get, or the best affixes or whatever, and the only thing left are those pets to give you that little boost.
That's when it's going to hurt. And how how much an impact is that going to be? Is that just going to be when you're playing? Is that going to just be a leaderboard type thing? So if you're concerned about that, I think that's obviously where it will come into play. Leaderboard chasers.
I took a max level character into the earliest level of endgame mapping and still just got dismantled because I didn't have the proper gear.
Sure.
So I think skill and gear are going to be the winners in this game. But at the top, the most elite level, I think that's when the pets might have somewhat of an effect.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
I don't know yet. I did buy the battle pass. I told everyone I was going to buy the battle pass. I will not spend 1 cent on the actual real currency that costs money. And that's the currency you need to purchase pets. I will not do it. I refuse to do it. And we're going to see if I can be competitive. Like, that's my goal. And so far, at least the first 9 hours of playing, I started behind. I'm ranked top 40, right? And I know that's going to fall like a rock.
Top 40 already. But
I don't know if you need the pets to be fun. I don't even know if you need any pets.
The game's fun if you're not the top of the food chain or not. The game's just fun.
I don't think it matters.
Game.
It's got a good game loop. You know?
But we'll see, because who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm at now tier 7, tier 8 maps, and it's like, what is the problem? And it could be, hey, you have
a super pet.
You have tier 1 rare pets. And if that's the case, then that's when the conversation evolves. But I look at myself right now using non-unique epic pistols, and then I can see in the trade house what the highest level pistol does, which is 500 damage, and I just could not imagine my build with those weapons. What are you guys laughing at?
Beard in chat.
Captain Neckbeard.
You can't compete with Guilty's shirt. I know. He's just too on point.
He's on top of it today.
It is a very comfortable shirt.
I bet it is. Looks comfortable.
It does look comfortable.
You know, the first time I wore a Hawaiian shirt in my adult life was on this podcast.
Really?
Was it really?
It was purchased. It was the other.
Wow.
The other one that has the suns, the 80s synthwave suns on it.
Right.
That was the first one in my adult life that I had worn, and I like them. They're comfy.
Very comfy.
I have one, I think.
Daft, what level is your character?
22 or 23.
Okay. Guilty?
Torchlight, yeah.
I was told I wasn't allowed to use my max level that I was using, so I started a new one today, and I'm at 16, I think, right now. I started playing about 3/4 of the way through your stream. Maybe 4/5 of the way through your stream. I was only playing for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Got it.
No.
But you're playing Moto.
No. I've already taken Moto up the ranks. I've done pretty much what you can do with them. I've experienced Moto at level 99. I've done that with Thea now as well. Although I want to go back to that account and see what I can do when she's geared up. And right now I'm with Gemma, taking her straight fire. I've already done both frost and fire with her. I want to go straight fire, and I started out with God of what was it, the God of War or whatever it is, the one that's for the Berserker, the first one that's for the Berserker that comes with fire. Right.
It's Berserker. It's called Berserker, isn't it? Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. In the Berserker tree, you took that
in the Berserker tree. That's the first one I took. Because it has a lot of really good fire perks, and it has ignite perks in it as well, and it has ranged perks and she fires projectile with that split fire. I wanted to try that as the first, and then move on to maybe a little bit of survivability in the second, and then go back to some more DPS stuff for the third. And that I'm going to take that as my main, but I am going to revisit Thea on the other, because I'm not going to put a lot of time into Thea. I want to see what she can do when she's geared out.
Got it.
Because I was just walking through stuff. I was just a walking frost explosion.
I've seen that.
She seemed
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Daft, question.
Yes. What is it?
Me speedrunning. I finished the campaign Act 1, 2, 3, 4 in Torchlight in a few hours. And now I start the mapping process.
Right.
I played almost 35 hours of Undecember, and that took me through half of the campaign. Okay, now I think if I would play it again now, understanding how to play and knowing how to pick my character gear, I think it would be faster. But having a game where really the campaign is the tutorial, a game where the campaign teaches you how to play, but really the game starts at endgame, or having a game like Undecember where it's a detailed, fun, cinematic story experience that supposedly has a 100-hour campaign. Which do you prefer? And remember, before you answer, that Undecember, you will never have to play the campaign twice. What do you think?
Yeah, there is
That's
that whole
awesome.
thing. That's the one benefit where, Undecember's kind of old school. It's not cycles in any way. It's just you pay for every. That someone brought up a question in chat earlier, I think, about how many times do you have to pay that $225? I believe just once, right?
It's once, because the game never resets. Other than the pets, which is monthly. You have to pay auto pickup monthly.
Yeah,
So you buy,
rental of the pet ability.
That on top of it. So if you don't care about the renting of the pet, you just decide you're cool with picking up stuff, you just kind of forebode the whole pet thing, which is old school for most ARPGs. It's not as bad because you put your $225 in either up front or over time, and then you're done paying for it, and it's like a bought game. So that's what Undecember has going for it, where other games are in cycles. So you're going to be paying for new gear, new things every 5 months or 4 months, whatever the cycles are. So I don't know. Yeah.
But what model do you like better? I know you said you would play Torchlight, but if Torchlight was like, hey, for season 2, we're going to have a 100-hour campaign. It's going to be a great cinematic experience. We're going to tell the story of Torchlight all the way through. And once you play this 100-hour campaign for future seasons, you'll never have to play it again. Would that be like a, ooh, great decision? Or is that a, oh, I don't know. Who the hell wants to play a 100-hour campaign?
I mean, for me, it's fine.
Not
if it's
this guy.
If it's a final campaign, and basically while you're playing it, you can just play the game through on level, obviously. I think I'd be okay with it, personally, because that puts it in the CRPG kind of scope, where it's just a longer campaign. It takes a long time to get there, but once you get there, you're at the end. I don't know. It's a good question, Aaron.
I do have you mentioned CRPG.
Yeah.
The purpose of the CRPG is to experience the story. Those are the games where I actually pay attention to the narrative, and because usually the narrative means something. Your choices have value.
Yep.
And in the ARPG, there's no reason to have one, and unless there's going to be some like, Morrowind-esque like pick a decision here, and they should start doing that. Then I would start paying attention. Where if your decision, that would be great. Only if there was a developer that could do that.
Yeah, and in ARPG, the way Undecember comes off for me is while you're playing the game, it's kind of like a mixture of an ARPG with Skyrim. So when you're doing the talking and the NPCs, it's kind of Skyrim-y scope. It's got the big head right in front of you, so it kind of mixes Skyrim's vibe, the way the game portrays itself, more so than what Torchlight is, which is more of a kind of anime art style throughout. For the most part,
cell shaded almost.
Cell shaded, yeah. So I do like the way Undecember's story plays out. It's just kind of cooler to watch the animations of the characters while they're talking to you and stuff. So I do like that, but in Torchlight, it's just kind of like you can read and listen. The voice acting, like I said earlier, is fine. So you can listen to it. It's pretty quick. You get the stories to read. You can click through it if you want to like do that. So, or even skip it by hitting the skip button, basically. So I mean, it's a mixed bag. Yeah, I do. I listen to them sometimes, and then if I'm eating or drinking while I'm playing, I'll let it play and just hit the button.
I kind of have a thought that just popped into my head, and Guilty would really understand this. Every game I ever play, I just blow through the story. It's fat. I mean, literally, if I could skip Act 2 and not kill an enemy, I am running. I'm just, because in my head, I'm in a level 30 zone and I'm only level 15. That means I'm going to get this much more experience. Like, I'm always trying to get ahead of the game, and I'm just powering through it. And when Undecember was like, hey, we're going to release a 5-act demo, you're going to be able to experience it for 7 days before the release, I was thinking, okay, there's no point in speed running it, because I'm just going to finish it. So I was like, let's do the opposite of what I always do. I noticed that. Yeah. And I literally cleared every map. I listened or read every single NPC. I took the time to learn the story. And as I was doing that, And as I was doing that, it was like, wait, I'm actually enjoying this. Like, I wonder what happens next. It was really weird because normally it's like, I could,
What's in the food in Idaho?
I literally don't care. But it's a weird thought to think about that I enjoyed it. And I feel like Undecember did a good job on their cinematics, putting you inside of that story. And like, like Easter eggs from previous acts come up in the story and later.
Right.
Anyways, point being is that was the first time that I can remember that I played a game the opposite of what I normally do and had a good time.
Well, that's cool. But it
Would
was
you
presented
compare
well. So that
the
made it easy.
localization in both? Because that's important. Chat's mentioned the story not being so good, and
yeah, it's kind of bland.
It's not that it's. I don't think it's that it's bland. I think that the localization was not as in depth as the original story.
Sure, that could be it.
Well,
too. It's just not explained well enough. It's not.
I also
not ported
think
well.
that, you know, we're like the moon, that what it was like the poison moon now. We're only halfway through the story too. So I mean, yeah,
Are you talking about the Torchlight or are you talking about Undecember? Because I'm talking
Torchlight. I don't even know this story. I don't even remember. I've played it 3 times. I can't. I don't care.
The voice acting is good. Sifu mentioned that, but the story not so much.
And Torchlight could have a great story. I don't know. I play it my normal way. It's like I just cruise through.
yeah,
There's a bad guy, and they're sucking the souls out of everyone, and you got to kill him. And you're a Torchlight person, and
so
I paid attention to parts of it. It's not horrible. It's not like crate level like Grim Dawn. It's not like that cool where you can kind of really get into it.
But isn't it a normal story where it's like the bad guy, you finally reach him, and then the bad guy jumps to the next level? So you're like chasing this person the whole time,
it's
right?
The hero's journey.
It's like always that.
It's the hero's journey the whole time.
You didn't catch me this time, and then they run through the portal, and then you know, it's the same crap. Like that's
you've got the enemy that you can't get, and he keeps getting away.
The one international thing that everyone understands.
English?
The hero's journey.
Oh, the hero's journey.
Right.
Yeah. The Odyssey.
And it's
the Iliad and the Odyssey, correct. Yeah.
Yep. I do like the hero's journey.
Yeah, I mean, I read the Hero of a Thousand Faces I've talked about, and I have to write some more things about it, but it's like they take word for word what he has written about and say, oh, got to do that, and that. And so far that we're seeing that with like Disney, with Lucasfilm, all of these are following it to a T. Video games are no different.
It's because it works.
It's the only thing everyone understands. Because there's regional differences, but that one crosses all regions.
I also think I liked Undecember more than I thought I would, because when I saw our friend Captain Neckbeard stream it over his VPN, it's like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the worst game I've ever seen. And
I
then
remember that.
And then he said it was. I was like, this is the worst game
God.
I've ever watched, and he said it's the worst game he's ever played. So I'm just like, this game's gonna be, it is an interesting thought mentally. Like I went in thinking this game is going to blow. It is gonna be awful.
Yeah, when anytime it would come up in Discord, we would like, and it was for months because I guess we weren't following it, but it kind of went radio silent for a while, and then all of a sudden, a few people in Discord started saying, "Hey, it's coming up." There was 2 or 3 I knew initially, right?
Well, Rotten Gamer right now in chat was my I don't want to say every day, but every couple weeks he'd be like, "Dude, are you gonna play it? Dude, it's not that bad. Dude, you gotta give it a shot." Like, and I was like, "Okay, I will." And one night, me and him were playing multiplayer together, and I was like, "Oh, the multiplayer is pretty smooth."
Oh yeah, it is.
And it's also fun that like I'm streaming Undecember, someone in chat is close to me at level, adds me in friend, and now we're playing multiplayer live. Like that's what I always want to happen inside of my streams.
Too.
Yeah,
I know.
It was a smooth, So we do have this saving grace that Ellie will be like that.
Yeah.
It won't have the same things that are negative about these games. It has its own negatives.
Yeah, a different class.
Yeah. And in that I can compare, systems. I think the systems in Undecember are really good. Like, I want Undecember to be released in a game that costs like, $150. I'll buy it because the systems are that good.
Sure.
But I want you to increase the drop rate of uniques. I want you to pull out the entire cash shop, and I want you to still give me a season.
Right.
It's funny because when I was streaming Undecember, I would get questions like, well, what is this like compared to PoE? And in my head, it's almost like, even though they're not different genres, I always think like a made for PC only action RPG and a Diablo Immortal, Undecember, Torchlight, it's almost a separate genre. I couldn't imagine comparing any of these games to Last Epoch, any of these games to Diablo 2 Resurrected, any of these games to PoE, because they're so different. Like, in so many different ways and so many different facets. Like, none of these
doesn't fit these. Yeah,
it's
does,
different,
but it's too different.
It's too different. It's too different.
What do you think though? The LE cash shop. We know it's not going to be like buying anything, so it's
cosmetics.
Gonna be. Are they just going to do like the PoE thing? Basically,
100% cosmetics. They will never They will never sell XP boosts. They will never sell stash tabs. They will never sell any form of power or gear. They went as far as to say they want to do Twitch drops, but even on Twitch drops, they won't make it gear because they never want somebody to be able to get something outside of the game. It'll only be cosmetic. They won't even give away they won't give away anything. So they've really said that's never going to happen.
That's crazy. That's a pretty bold thing they're doing too, to say we're not going to do that at all.
Just to play devil's advocate between, and we're going to leave out Path of Exile and Grim Dawn because we know they're two best. Period. Between Last Epoch, Undecember, and Torchlight Infinite, which one has the best skill system in your opinion, Aaron?
Skill system.
Yeah, look at him. I fried his brain.
You did. It's a tough one.
It's a good skill system. They're all good.
There's preference obviously involved, so that's going to be the overriding thing I think for each individual that's going to tip you into certain scales. But
I would still pick Last Epoch. Now you're going to say, Aaron, but why? Why would you pick Last Epoch? Because I'm a shill. No, that's not it. Because even with 35 hours into Undecember, I basically used one skill. Because you have to have a skill, you have to socket it in, you've got to craft it, then you got to get the supports around it. Where in Last Epoch, I can try 5 skills, I could try 10 skills, I could try 5 skills, run 10 different ways. You're always going to have 5 on your bar that you are working with. Where in Undecember, I could go level 1 to level 43, which I got to, 5 acts, 35 hours, 1 skill. And that skill evolves over the time and gets stronger. But from that sense, I'd rather have Last Epoch.
Red Eye. Paid plug.
It wasn't a paid plug yet. Mike, if you want to make it a paid plug, looking at you, buddy.
That is my honest answer.
Looking at you, Judd.
My honest
Where's the
answer.
Judster?
I believe you. No, and I can see that aspect where all your skills are. It's like a good band. Every member is needed for the band. Well, not needed, but work together well. Better than like having one superstar in a band of 4 others, right?
Yeah.
So I get that. It's more harmonious. You have more build opportunity with that. So that said, I agree with that for sure.
And again, they're totally different games. Like, it's just different.
Yeah, totally different. I don't even they're the same group, but they're not necessarily the same feeling groups. Like, they feel a little different speed wise, or I don't know, just how they're building the game with the community. Where Last Epoch was kind of single player focused first and then multiplayer. So there's more focus on your character being able to, in a single run, have multiple opportunities.
Yep.
To build your build whatever way you want. Some will be better, some will be worse. But those some are worse ones, you might, by making better ones, be able to make your old worse ones work. You tweak the skills a little bit. So there's always that capability in Last Epoch, I think. So,
I think why I'm having so much fun right now is because for almost 2 years and almost 1,800 hours, I've been playing Last Epoch. And it doesn't change my love for that game or my excitement for multiplayer, but playing that shiny new thing inside of my favorite genre is always fun. So learning Undecember, learning Torchlight, playing the Superfuse demo, leaking all the Diablo stuff and getting in trouble, like that stuff's really fun for me, you know?
I checked out that demo for Superfuse. It's pretty cool.
It uses the exact same skill system as Undecember.
Right.
It is
It does.
It's
very similar. Yeah.
It's almost the exact same. So that's going to be cool that we have an actual PC released action RPG that does the inventory Tetris and all the skills and everything.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, I agree though. I with skills, I think Last Epoch does have an edge, specifically.
For sure.
Like you have so many options within each skill set, and then on top of that, the masteries to kind of like, synchronize with it. And so, yeah, I agree with that.
I'm gonna search something right now. So earlier in the day, Aaron, why aren't you streaming Undecember? Why aren't you stream? Which one are you gonna stream? Which one's better? And Undecember had almost 40,000 people watching. And then by the end of the day, it was like down to 15,000 players playing, not watching players. And I'm curious if things have balanced out, if Torchlight's cut in half, and I'm looking it up right now.
That's a good look. It's been like, what, 10 hours, 12 hours since everything's kind of going. One of them launched yesterday, late, or I guess early morning for us over here on the West Coast.
Okay, Undecember, 24-hour peak, 46,000 players. 46. That's a good.
Okay.
That's a good peak.
And remember, this is non-mobile. This is pretty sure.
Right.
This is Windows. This is the PC port. 46,000. It currently has 17,000. Okay, so the numbers
Still pretty good.
That's still double Last Epoch ever. Okay.
Right.
So now let's check out Torchlight Infinite.
And CT won't show up on Last Epoch, right?
It's a different build.
It's a different.
They're not allowed to stream it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't show up on their Steam charts.
Yeah, it's
That's where a lot of the players are.
I just want them to just lift the NDA so bad. I need that.
Yeah, please, guys. If any of you here, lift the NDA.
Like, I need people who are better at the game that like carry me through, so I don't have to do as much work.
Torchlight Infinite, 24-hour peak, 15,600. Currently playing 6,500.
You know what? Those are Grim Dawn numbers.
Yeah.
And we all know Grim Dawn is the best ARPG.
So Torchlight has lost about 65% of its players from its peak. And Undecember has lost about, quick math, 75%?
A lot.
Yeah.
Less, maybe about 70.
They saw that cash up. But see, people don't vote with experience anymore, or at least a large portion, maybe 75%. They'll go and look at the review in Steam, which is mostly negative right
this
now.
morning was horrible.
So they're going to look at that, see red, and not bother.
See, what I think is you could download Torchlight yesterday. Remember, I think we all chit-chat. It was like, yeah, you can download it. And when you log in, it says, hey, guess what? You can play tomorrow. Right? That's basically what it said. It's like, good luck. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of got all the haters just hating already, like on a mega train.
Okay.
And then it steamrolled from that point.
What's up?
I'm not saying I have a direct influence, okay?
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Okay. I just looked up because during my, I think it was at 4 hours, I took a break and I had lunch on my stream today. And during that lunch, I posted my Undecember pay to win video. Okay.
I did
What
too.
What are you saying?
That video right now.
Clearly me.
Oh, you can't see it. That video right now has 4,500 views in
Yeah.
5 hours.
It was
Yeah.
But
It
it
is-
had more than it had a bunch in way less time, an hour and a half.
It has 4,500 views in 4 hours. And that video is not nice to Undecember. It is not
It's unfriendly.
nice. It is not,
not like
super
outright mean.
friendly.
I had nothing to say that was nice about it either, except for that the core gameplay is good,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and it
like
got
all
ruined by corporate monetization. like-
shenanigans.
Like I don't feel that developers, people working on the art, people working on the code, and yes, code is art. People working on any
No,
system
no.
design, any of that, they're not going to be like, how do we piss off our entire community and have them talk crap about
Absolutely
this?
not.
No one, none of them are for this. The person paying
Absolutely.
them is for this.
But is it they create all the systems and they're like, okay, this game is finished, it's perfect, and then it's like, okay, now how do we create a cash shop? Okay, well, these 5 things, make those paid. All right, these 10 things, make those paid. Ooh, the auction house, do we use in-game currency or do we use cash? Screw it, just use cash. You know, and they just go down the list and it's like, okay, so what's too far? Well, do we want to give them auto pickup for free? Hey, do this. Give them auto
no too far.
give them auto pickup for a month. They have to have
Right.
it at that point,
7
and they'll be
days.
sucked into the game, and then
They'll
they'll
want
buy it, right? So it's like all of these decisions are catered around let's create an annoyance, and then we will give it a solution to fix that annoyance. And that is just
Rotten
terrible.
Rotten Gamers got a very good point that kind of goes with my point that people would just look at the reviews and not give the game a chance because mostly negative. No one reads the review. They just don't give it
Yeah.
a chance.
I agree.
Rotten Gamers, like most of the reviews are from people who played for 1 hour.
Yeah. It just
So like
logged
that,
in.
you put those two things together and you don't have a very good data set.
You know what's weird? I feel like the first hour of Undecember is pretty fun. You get to play those 3 super powerful builds to see what's possible and
Right.
really showcase the
Right.
visuals. It starts
I
off
do
the
like that.
story where you freaking headshot the big dinosaur.
Yep.
I feel like the first hour is pretty good. I'm trying to think like, you know, obviously the first hour you play, you if you come from PoE, if you come from Last Epoch, if you come from Grim Dawn, you come from any PC action RPG, you will immediately feel that PC port. Like movement doesn't feel super good, a little bit of input lag, the way you pick up items, no drop and drag. Like if you go in thinking that it is a PC release, in that first hour you will have a like why is all the normal controls that I normally click not the way it normally is? So I could see that going in with not knowing anything.
I did like
It-
that
it
about
happens.
Torchlight. Everything was where it should be.
Mostly.
No, it's not.
Like,
Most.
well, except for, was it a B for?
No.
Okay, so I play World of Warcraft.
Oh, you're talking about
and
like
B.
hotkey. If you can adjust them, I don't really care how they set them.
You
It
can
is-
now
Use
adjust.
R and right click for your main ability.
By the way, maybe you didn't notice this, but season 1 Dark Surge hotkeys or all keys can now be reset.
They are. That is. They weren't.
that was a
before, right?
complaint.
And you couldn't do it before. That is a big
That
difference.
is right. I forgot about that. I did
Yep.
forget about that.
You
Yeah.
can
So-
redo all your keys.
Someone
Yeah,
had
it's
to go in and redo input programming. They took it seriously enough to put a programmer on it. It's not like he
Right.
did it in like 5 minutes. He
Okay.
sat down for however long it
Sure.
took and did it.
I am gonna make a Torchlight video, probably be in about a week. But I'm gonna break down everything they need to fix, and it's all little stuff. There's nothing game breaking, but it's like, man, this is such an annoyance. Like clicking through your items in your inventory is
Yeah, I agree.
such an annoyance.
Right click. Just right click.
Or
you
if you accidentally click your map top left, it opens the map and you can't move. You don't
Those
have
are
a
that's a design flaw.
you
so-
can you don't have a map overlay. That is so
Right.
weird. This is so-
Yeah. Having to click something that opens up something else just to have to click that thing to say accept or receive or whatever, that's a design
bad.
flaw. Just
Right.
click the one thing. Like they went and they actually did more programming
For no reason.
Dude, and
for
you
no
guys,
reason.
and when you start going into the trade house, there's like an arrow top left for like back, but it's not back, it's exit. Under, there's a little thing that says back. So you're always clicking the top left to go backwards, but you're just exiting instead of going back. Just dumb, stupid little things that just make you want to strangle someone. Mainly guilty.
In university,
I feel that though.
having to do peer reviews, every greenhorns, like mine included, like our first like large scale builds all had those issues. It's like,
so what are you saying? Are you saying that?
No, it's a company that has let's say like Emil Pagliarulo, who has made all those mistakes when he was doing, actual development. He would know to look out for those mistakes. That's
Sure.
he was, that's why he became the lead designer, because he had the experience of making the mistakes. If you don't have someone as seasoned as someone who's like 20 years in the game industry, or 25 or 30 at this point, you are going to see these mistakes that everyone has made early on in their careers already. Or you just study.
So when I first made my PC port video, I literally said, let's just break down the PC port. And I broke down the UI, I played the game, and then I said, these are the things that are horrible about the PC port. And again, in the comment section of the video, Torchlight, the developers were like, thank you, this is really helpful. And two of the things, I'd have to rewatch it, were fixed. And I'm not saying that they were fixed because of me. I'm sure a lot of people had the same complaints. But not being able to change your keys. We got that.
Yes.
In the original PC port, when you open a window, it always popped up to the right, and it would pop up off screen. So if you clicked on a box that was all the way on the right, it was gone. Now,
Are you
if
talking about on the skill screen, like or not skill, but when you're putting in your points.
I'll give you an example. So if you go to the you completed level 30, click on this button and we give you 10 free whatever. What's that?
Okay.
The trait, it's not traits. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's the P button when you push P and it's your.
Well, anyways, if you completed
About the hero, not the hero trait.
it's not the what's the it's
not
the,
hero trait.
it's like
It's
the
the one
little
you
get
put 10 points into it and then you pick a bonus skill and then you put 10 more points in, you get a bonus skill. And
Your actual skill tree.
No, it's actually
like-
it's not that. It's not
Not the
that.
skill
Oh.
tree. It's the passive tree. The passive tree.
No, it's not the passive tree.
The one I was talking about. I took Gemma. I took the
No,
Berserkers first.
it's the you made it to level 10. Congratulations. Click this box. You get 10 free currencies. What's that thing called?
okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's
Yes.
I don't pay attention to the story. Why did I pay attention to the names of things?
Anyways, doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
If you complete one of the challenges that's at the end and you click on it, the box would go off screen and you couldn't click it. Where now if you click it, instead of it opening on the right, it opens on the left. So it opens on achievements. It's the achievements. It's the
That was a
achievements.
I cheated. Beard said it.
Captain Neckbeard.
Love you,
Merit battle pass, good man, achievements. I couldn't think of it. Anyways, when you click on the achievement that's all the way at the end, you could not click on it because it was off screen. So now it pops left. Okay. A couple other things that's hard to quantify. But I said when you spin in a circle, movement wise, it was like a robot. It's very jittery. All that stuff was ironed out. Like movement feels way better in Torchlight now than before. And then we got voice actors and a lot of the NPCs were all improved.
Right.
So it makes me think.
Called out in chat. Just saying.
It makes me think that.
Hey, Ron, read chat.
It makes me think that more improvements are possible and maybe they'll listen.
I agree. They have been pretty active with some of the fixes, and I even considered the keys, the key bindings. I forgot that wasn't a thing.
Red Eye's got a comment. UI UX is so important. Actually, Aaron,
It is.
Red Eye and I had a conversation last week, or maybe the week before, sometime about this very thing. Like when you were asking about is it possible to build for mobile and PC simultaneously, and I said, well, the UI and UX are the main concerns.
Yep.
Right? They have to be different. They're very important. No one ever not so much the UI. Like UI is super important. The way something looks is important. UX handles the way it functions and the way you understand it.
Yeah.
So it's part philosophy and part mechanic. Whereas the UI is essentially the art and the way it the way it looks and the layout.
How easy it is to understand and yeah.
But he is super correct on how important that is.
It's
like
apparently the French translation is horribad.
It's horrible.
I'm sorry, Darthlup. That's bad.
In Torchlight, I'm assuming.
So tomorrow when I'm streaming Torchlight, I'm going to keep a little list on the left, just a little Word document. And every time something happens that I'm like just wanting to grip my fist, I'm going to write it down. And that's going to go on the future video. And maybe they'll fix all the stuff. And maybe they'll fix it all. PC port, what is needed?
In a year from now, people will be looking to you as the guru of the fixing of the game, right?
Yeah. I want to be known as the person that only plays mobile pay-to-win games. That is what I want for the future.
World gold. Yes.
Feels bad.
Gosh.
Although I this is what I would like. Nothing more than. Last Epoch has a nice long tenure, continually releasing content. Fantastic. Grim Dawn 2 gets released. Fantastic.
Yes.
There it is. Everything else I don't care about.
Yeah, but you can't. You struggle because you don't care about the monster.
No, it's
the
like, I
monster.
like these games.
You don't want to talk about the monster that is lurking next year. That is going to take a flag and stick it in the top of the mountain and just start kicking everyone down the hill. Gonna start kicking everyone down the hill.
Let's say I judge things based on their actual merit and not on their name recognition.
Well, that is you.
Bells and whistles.
That is you and you only, maybe.
No. There's gonna be others with me.
I'm in the same crowd. I do like games that have their legacies and stuff, but I don't give them super. I'm waiting till it actually proves it that it's better before I go, well, it should be, because they've said a lot. And I've liked Diablos, I've liked Path of Exiles, I've liked these games, I've played them.
D4 is going to drop, and regardless of what everybody says, it's going to sell 10 million copies at $60.
It'll sell 20 million.
It's going to be.
I didn't say it wouldn't. I think it will.
Yeah, it will. And
I don't call that a success at this point, though.
Okay, I'm going to say something crazy. I'm going to say something crazy. Feel free to clip it and throw it everywhere on the internet. If today,
gentlemen, start your engines.
2, 1.
If today Torchlight Infinite Season 2 dropped and Diablo 4 dropped, I'd rather play Torchlight Season 2.
You heard it here.
That's not crazy.
That's.
These are.
I thought you were going to say that you were looking forward to D4 and that it's going to be the best mechanically designed game you've ever played, because I would really like to see that.
Oh, D4 and Blizzard makes my blood boil, especially because
I would love to see them make something good.
Speaking of Blizzard, they're having their whole Blizzard of it, Overwatch 2 launch. You guys heard of that? It didn't go over.
I don't follow Blizzard because they make me mad.
I don't either.
I sold all my stock.
Good.
I don't follow it, but it came up as an article that I read, and I was like, oh well, that's Blizzard being Blizzard, doing Blizzard things. So D4 is part of Blizzard, so
Dude, you've already seen. I've seen all the leaked gameplay. I've posted the leaked gameplay. I've got my channel in trouble for the leaked gameplay. I don't like Blizzard. I don't like that they turned it into an MMO. I don't like that there's mounts. I don't like that they're planning to have three levels of early access. Hey, pay $60.
Really? Yeah.
Pay $60 and you get 1 day free or 1 day early. Pay $100 and you get 3 days free. You want to play a week free? Pay $200. I hate that
I can't-
crap.
I will
know me-
just pay no dollars and continue to play ALE.
Yeah, you know me, Aaron. I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm like, well, I have other games I'll play. I'll just forget it exists for 2 weeks. I won't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, all right, launch when
It's
you want to
not
launch.
special.
No,
You know what? I should
And
take
that's-
back what I said. I would much rather play Last Epoch 1.0 or Last Epoch 0.90 over D4 any day.
right.
Any day.
Well, you could play multiplayer with us right now, but we can't because the NDA. Any sign on that yet, Aaron?
I haven't asked.
NDA for? No,
They'll
nothing.
tell us. They're pretty active in the Discord.
If I ask, they give me a roundabout, and the roundabout's
gotta
coming
send
up.
You gotta send them a nice little DM sweet style. You know.
do you
just,
think
Hey guys, when?
because they don't know yet?
I think
I'm sure they know.
They're in an entire like okay, their development style is like super agile. No one, it's all remote. So
Lady Medusa's still waiting to get in the CT.
Well,
Sorry.
they're sexist, probably. Lady Medusa. That's probably why.
Ooh, wow.
You know, that's probably what it is.
Clip.
so
They won't let her
you
in.
can question Mike next Friday.
Yeah,
There's Mike
exactly.
right there.
Where did that cup come from?
That's the Dark made that mug.
Dark
You
made
don't remember
that?
this? You don't remember this?
The last
The
stream.
Mike mug?
Last Epoch is not sexist. I've been streaming for 9 hours and 40 minutes. I was just kidding. I think. Have you
he
actually
made a
said?
foul joke?
It almost looks like a candle, like one of those.
Yeah,
candles
it's
you
a
would buy at
tumbler.
Mexican-
It's a tumbler.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but it has the look because the sizing of it.
I did just say I'd rather play Last
Damn.
Epoch than D4, so that should counteract the bad joke.
Oh, I've read. Yes, absolutely. I haven't seen anything from their teases yet, other than look how pretty it is. Look how pretty it is. Look
For
at this
LA,
animation.
yeah.
And that is not a game. That is a video.
Hey, by the way, Lady Medusa, DM me your email that you signed up with, and I'll get you in.
Get in.
I got you.
Yeah.
2 days.
I got you.
All 91 others.
No one else.
Nah.
Don't DM anyone else. Only Lady Medusa.
Floodgates have opened.
Aaron, it's me too. I need it. I need it. I need it. I don't even know if they're accepting new people, but I can get Lady Medusa in.
So
I am sending
my
it now.
initial request was 9,000 of 1,000.
Hmm.
Were you?
Yeah.
I mean,
you
it
were
did
in the 8,000s.
yeah, I was in the 8s. It didn't take long once it happened. I mean, it was like literally 3 days for me to actually get the send it. Wait. Hey, Aaron, they haven't.
Yeah.
Never mind, they sent it. It was
Well, do
kind
you,
of-
Yeah.
you remember what your issue was? The reason why you didn't get, and it could be Lady Medusa's issue.
That
If
was
you
true.
kickstarted it, if you're using
Yeah.
the original client, it's not linked to this.
That
Yeah,
was
you
It's
can't
going to
use
the
it.
Yeah.
Steam client.
That was my issue. They're like, "Oh, you have it," and then give them the data. Next morning, email. Oh, cool. Thanks, guys.
See, Aaron owns EHG. No, we just have a great
No, Judd
partnership.
Owns it.
They're just
Judd
trying
does
to-
own. Well, Tencent owns
And
part of it.
Tencent owns a quarter
Tencent.
of it, almost.
We love you, Tencent.
We
We
do
love you,
love you,
Tencent.
Tencent. Okay,
We're not talking bad about you, Tencent.
we're gonna talk about something weird, and I want you guys.
Oh,
By the way, if anyone noticed, Guilty has been drinking Monster and whiskey the whole stream. So if things get weird, just know that's why. Okay. Okay. So
Good
sorry.
mix.
Sorry. Okay. I want you guys to sit back, just relax for a second, and clear your mind of everything you know. Okay.
oh no.
And
All right.
don't jump in and say anything until I finish. Okay.
Okay.
Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, is a very pretty game. Some people would compare it visually on the standard of Unreal Engine 4 for Undecember. It never, ever, ever had a cash shop where you could buy anything. Everything in-game came with the retail price, and all cosmetics and transmogs were free.
Right. Fun facts.
Do they
happened?
deserve more credit?
Are you saying what happened? I mean, it's kind of weird. It feels like Wolcen's in its own separate group. It's its own genre of group. It's like it's like we can't produce and we can't promise what we're gonna say kind of group where they're in. I don't know what happened really. That's a good question, Aaron. It's like they released super big, maybe because they were so huge at launch and they let such a huge letdown for such a massive group, combined with the fact that when they started trying to fix and mend and bandage all the broken pieces, they just couldn't come through ever. It felt like they just kept false promising. I think that was their ultimate downfall.
But you gotta think, it's only been a couple years since that game launched. It's been about 2.5.
Yeah.
And back then there were almost every game had cash shops. You go to any console game, you go to any big PC game, and it's such an interesting thought that they didn't introduce one. It had a $40 retail cost, which it still is $40, and it was all inclusive. It's a pretty interesting thought. We were talking about it during stream today.
I guess I think they would have won the game if they had just been able to have a decent group of, I don't know, communicators and devs or just devs. I don't know how they had their team set up, but if they hadn't blew it and just were able to keep up and fix the game and get everything patched up, get the Umbra, get all the things fixed, get controller support, get everything in there within a reasonable time and not draw it out to become like, in our Discord, they're a meme channel for the most part. It's pretty bad.
So they are. That's not for the most part. They are the meme channel. They get more memes than our actual meme channel. But since the beginning of this podcast, I have been stating that I'm willing to bet whoever was responsible for programming it was no longer with the company, and someone else had to come in and try and figure out their casserole of chaos, their nonsense spaghetti mess. And they had a very difficult time unraveling whatever it was they were doing. And it turns out that was true because 50% of the company left and we didn't know it.
They did abandon ship, and then it was told or it wasn't.
And
it's hard to
Wolcen,
go in to fix
every
stuff you don't
time
know about.
Wolcen dropped a big update, they also dropped a new armor set. So they were putting out new cosmetics every time they dropped, and I always went and got it
as much as they could.
Yeah,
because that guy was still employed. He didn't quit.
Right. We can keep making money out of Jimmy. He's a good guy.
Now, whatever the reason is that they left, but like almost, well, it was over 50%, wasn't it, Aaron?
it was. Yeah, it was the studio
It's senior developers left.
All the seniors.
It was over 30. It was over 30
yeah.
people. Over 30 people.
That's
of
brutal.
a 50-person team.
Yeah, that's like a knockout punch. So, like, I don't know. Right now, they're on life supporters. If anything, I don't even know what they do.
Well, Wolcen's gonna drop, dude.
But
what if Wolcen, because they just merged their servers, they're now on their own servers, and they're gonna be dropping seasons. What if Wolcen season 1 drops a cash shop? I will die. I can't. By the way,
I'll wake up.
I dream.
for like a week.
I dream. I have dreams, pleasant dreams, positive dreams about the day I can review season 1, Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. I can't wait for that day to come. I can't wait to see what they put together.
Download.
I can't wait.
Video series. You just,
I will
make a little series for it.
Oh my gosh.
Has a comment. Says, first thing I heard was 50% employee drop, and I knew it was Wolcen without context.
Exactly.
That's
good on you,
game,
sir.
Man.
The question is why you just can't wait to rage. I've seen your videos, Mr. RPG. Wolcen videos are probably my favorite videos to make. I don't know why. They're just always
I wouldn't even call it rage, Aaron. It's not rage. It's expected behavior that delivers.
I just imagine season 1 merging all the characters together. I can go and play my first character on the season 1, and I'm gonna log in, and the first enemy I'm gonna kill, there's gonna be an Umbra item on the ground, and I'm gonna pick it up, and it's gonna F up my stash tab, and I just can't wait.
Maybe they make a unique out of the Umbra item, right? Like, just go all in, just throw the dice, and just like, I'm gonna make a unique out of it. Everybody
Sifu,
gets
Rotten
it.
Gamer, and Valinov are hilarious.
They're having a time.
It will be the season of bugs, says Rotten Gamer. Sifu is like, seriously, that is surprising. I use
Fair
rage
enough,
as a synonym
Thomas.
for disappointment here. And Valinov is like, Ernest.
What did I say?
You are Nostradamus, sir.
Aaron
Yes.
Stradamus.
Yes.
That's
Wait.
going to be a fun video series, and I'll break it down too. I'll be like, season 1.
But
Here's
do we
what
even-
we're getting.
Are you? I did they do a recent update, Wolcen?
No.
No. Am I
Last 3
seeing
months or
things-
4 months.
I think they did. I looking.
No,
but-
they put in
yeah.
controller support. We got controller support.
Oh,
That was the update.
That was the
And
last one, right?
It came
Okay.
broken, and
Yeah.
then they had to do another update to fix it because
And
they
this is
left
what-
the dead zone.
And I want to see if Wolcen will learn, because this is what they'll do. It'll be like, let's say it's tomorrow. And it'll be
Why
like,
have an update paused.
it'll be huge announcement. Season 1 Wolcen coming soon. Here's all the details. And then they'll drop it like
Wait,
16
Aaron,
hours
break-
later, or something.
Breaking news. September 30th. I have an update. Personal OnLight stash error. They fixed it.
Oh, good. Is that the only?
It's 334 people were like thumbs upping too.
They had to like
comments.
announce that they fixed one bug.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let's
that just happened. So
let's
update
see.
your game and let's get in there.
Let's see what's the current players on Wolcen Lords of Mayhem.
Oh, I'm putting it under 150.
Last time I looked,
Okay.
top was
120.
Last time I looked, top was 198.
So what's it at right now? 120.
I'm gonna guess double digits. Okay, I'm hitting enter
I'm
now.
going to guess. Oh, you could be right.
We
because
fixed your
better
stash
games
error.
came out.
Oh, it's actually
It-
not. It's not too bad.
120.
Right.
Well, I mean, depending on how you look at it.
Oh.
Currently, I would be correct. Currently, they have 70 people in the world playing it. 70. 70.
Oh.
Their
how
24-hour
times
peak, is 168, and their all-time peak is 127,542.
times are so different.
So if people
Uh.
vote with their time, they're not voting for Wolcen.
Last Epoch, 24-hour peak, 1,625. Playing 40 minutes ago, 1,017. Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn's hard because I don't know how to track like all the different
there's
DLCs.
Well, it's not
Right.
just that. You can the definitive edition is available on Game Pass, which means it's available on Xbox console and on the PC.
I think they do a good job. I think they combine them all. So all-time peak for Grim Dawn, 61,093. 24-hour peak, 3,300. Playing 42 minutes ago, 1,900.
That doesn't count CT though, so those
Well, no,
are.
he's talking Grim Dawn.
That's
Oh, I
Grim
thought
Dawn.
you were talking LA still.
Yeah, and that also doesn't count Xbox,
Yeah.
which
Grim Dawn's kind of spread.
is a
Yeah.
$60 title on Xbox right now.
Path of Exile,
Is it?
and remember that
Yes, it is.
Path of Exile gets a ton of players on their own client as well.
Right.
But just through Steam, all-time 160,000. 24-hour peak, 16,500. Playing 43 minutes ago, 9,500.
Yeah, not so huge, but I mean the.
But you could probably double those
started
numbers
out.
if you count their client as well.
If you would like to help us double numbers and you own an Xbox, use your VPN,
jump
say
in.
you're in Venezuela, and pay $20 for the Grim Dawn Definitive Edition.
Okay, we have
You're
20 minutes left for this podcast. Now, obviously, right now, anybody clicking on it shows that this is a Torchlight Infinite podcast.
Oh, you never updated it?
I didn't update.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
He didn't do prep because he was streaming for 8.5 hours.
I understand. It's all good.
So let's close. We'll go guilty first. Current ask that you would like to see different for season 2. Is there anything specifically? And the sky's the limit, right? Is there anything let's just
Torchlight.
Torchlight Infinite. Well, let's just keep out the pet system because obviously, if everyone's like, "Hey, if we could pick one thing,"
I'm not at all concerned with it.
all right. So let's just leave out the pet system. If there's one thing, hey, I wish was different. What would you pick? I know mine. You go
I
first.
already know mine.
So my number one ask right now in this particular game that I have skipped every cutscene that I could is to just let me go to the end game.
That is a big. I did say the sky's the limit. That is a big. That is a.
I don't care about your
That's in the
story.
skies.
It's not intriguing to me. I just want to play the game. Stop making me watch a film.
You feel filmed. I don't feel filmed in this game at all.
No, I mean
Felt
any
filmed
cutscene.
in Undecember, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because you had the cutscenes and the animations with the NPCs, so I don't know.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's for me. I just want to go to like maybe not the end game, but some form of mapping that will carry me to the end game, so I can omit having to sit through or click skip every chance I get.
So, are you
Go
insinuating
get this, go do that. No, just let me go through the map.
before you even play it, or after you finish the campaign the first time?
I don't care about the story at all.
So you're saying
I
want
don't know
the
what it's
button
about.
That says end game pre.
Well, not so much end game. Something to substitute the narrative-driven experience where go do this, go kill that, go. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to like focus on my build and I want to play.
So, like in Guild Wars 2, where you're doing the open PvP, if you want to do the end game PvP, you can make a character and it's the highest level, and you get to pick every skill and everything from the get-go, from day one. So that type
Mr. Skeezy Mask, first time channel chat, doing it once makes sense, and I would normally agree with you.
Yeah.
Except for and I normally think that that's true. You should do that, but I have not become enthralled with the story, and that's
Right.
probably because I've been rushing through and trying to keep up, and I've having to do other things.
So you're more concerned
I'm
at the moment of rushing
by
through
that,
the game
but-
and just
yeah.
get past it. Yeah, I get
But
it.
I typically play that way too. I couldn't tell you what Titan Quest's about, and the first couple times I went through Grim Dawn, I couldn't tell you what it was about
Oh,
because
yeah,
Okay,
I'm the opposite.
I like it. I like what you're saying. Never gonna happen. Okay.
It's not gonna happen.
And the only reason why I'm saying, okay,
give me a
listen,
chance.
the only reason why I say it's never going to happen is because they've already talked about how each season will have almost like a not added chapter, but a new chapter explaining kind of the mechanic of like, well, why is this called Dark Surge? Well, because this dark enemy is doing, like,
evolving story. That I
so
don't-
season 2 will have an evolving story and Dark Surge will be gone and it'll be something new, but it'll be cast around the campaign. So
Yeah.
that's
just give me loot.
And
let me
before
build
you
builds.
answer yours, Daft Brutal Man asked how many people are playing Torchlight Infinite and Undecember right now. And I quickly looked it up. Playing Torchlight is 7,000 and playing Undecember is 17,000. Those are the current numbers. All right, Daft. You could change something in Torchlight. What would it be?
I think the UI interaction for me would be the most important part. So right click in your inventory to equip something as opposed to clicking it and then clicking it. Any of that, being able to hit escape just to escape menus, that kind of stuff, just your basic, I guess, quality of life stuff for PC games. That's probably my biggest ask, not the changing of anything outside of that. So, fix that up. I'll be even happier, That's all I need.
And that stuff.
That for me feels like the biggest thing.
And I hope that every season the PC port gets better because it can't get worse, right? So, I mean, every time they fix a bug or they make something smoother, it should continuously be a better experience. So I feel like in that regards, we have the same hope, but that's not going to be my answer. Now, my answer doesn't actually help me, but streaming the game for 9 hours today, there's one question that I got almost more than pay to win. So the question of is what's more pay to win, Undecember or Torchlight, or is this pay to win, or talk to me about monetization. That was my number one question. It's been my number one question for 10 straight streams, which is understandable. But
It's a reasonable question.
But my second question that I kept getting over and over again, which is unbelievably complicated and very stupid and convoluted and is not done right, is how to select the character you want. So I want to play the Oracle Thea. And I would say, oh, it should be available to you. And then they'll say, no, it's not available to you. And then someone will say, oh, you actually have to log into the game with a different character, make it through the tutorial, make it through the first town. And then once you're there, you can buy the battle pass. And then once you buy the battle pass, well, Oracle Thea becomes available. So then you just did that whole beginning story for no purpose so that you can go back to the character selector to now pick Thea, to now go back through the same tutorial. Oh, I want to play the new Lethal Flash for Carino. Oh, you want to play the Lethal Flash for Carino? Well, you got to pick a different character. You got to go through the campaign. You got to do the tutorial. Then you got to get to the first menu. Right. Then once the shop opens, you have to pay to get Lethal Flash so that then you could start over a Lethal Flash character and then go through. It is the dumbest, stupid.
If I knew that, I might have made a Thea. I forgot about that. You did.
Oh my gosh. And in my head, I'm thinking like, well, you can just go to the character selector and select him. They're like, no, you can't. And even if you wanted it to be, hey, these are the new characters. If you want to play the new characters, they're not stronger than the old characters, but we are selling these new characters as DLCs, as new experiences. It literally should be character selector, the characters that are free, and the characters that are paid for. And right there on the character selection menu, you could buy the character. Which, in my opinion, is still stupid. I think that the hero traits, all the hero traits, that should be what brings you to season 2. It shouldn't be, hey, season 2, we've got a lot. It'd be like, could you imagine PoE? And it's like, hey, this is a free-to-play game. You know, we're going to do Calandra, and you got to go to Calandra's Lake, and you got to do all this stuff. But to play that content, it's going to cost you $15. Could you imagine if the actual new content cost money? That is basically what they have done with the hero traits. Now, what they are saying is that it's not a paid to win mechanic because those new characters are not stronger than the old characters. It is just a new experience that they are selling as DLCs. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I wish.
It's a weird, I get it. It's a weird DLC pitch, if you will. It's a weird way to throw it, as opposed to, hey, here's a package you can purchase and you get 2 new characters.
You know, there again, I made this comment about Undecember. I view Undecember as systematically, like what I think they originally made was probably the best ARPG. Period. Maybe that's because it's new and flashy right now. And then it got whittled down to the pay to win model that it is by not the developers, but by, you know, their overlords.
Right.
Torchlight has the same overlords. Like LE got lucky in that the overlords that purchased the company are not taking part in telling the company what to do.
Right. They said, here, guys. We hired you. You make a cool game. We're going to be cool about selling it, monetizing it. No problem.
But they also already built the game.
Right.
So I think that with Torchlight Infinite, that was developed on someone else's dollar. So you have to do what they say. The same thing with Undecember.
Sure.
And the devs from Undecember probably made a really, like the original build, what they originally put on that GDD was probably awesome. Like amazing. Like PoE killer. And then they're like, no, make it harder for that, make it harder for that, make them pay for that, make them pay for everything.
Right. Slow. Yeah. It kills games. You know, if any devs watch, it kills games. It's how you get money out of people and how you try to convince them that your game's cool to play. You know, with all these competitors doing the same type of things, some people are going to figure out the nice spots. How can we get people to not feel like we're jacking them? We're being
But it's
good.
also weird if you said, hey, okay, last Epoch, right? Let's just say last Epoch. Torchlight Infinite is saying that a new hero trait character is a whole new character. So it'd be like, if we were using Torchlight and XD's analogy, it'd be like, the Sentinel now has a Berserker class, whatever. Okay, the Berserker, and it's a new mastery. And in order to use the Berserker, which is a new mastery in last Epoch, you got to pay $15. That is basically, and that would be like cycle 1, the Berserker is coming, it'd be $15. Could you ever imagine a game do? It's weird.
It feels
weird.
That feels really weird and bad. I wouldn't want
Scrubs as he's like, I hear a lot of pay to win talk. We're not so much complaining about the pay to win.
Oh, I'm not saying pay to win.
Pay to win.
No. Hold on, let me explain.
What we're saying.
Anybody that just got here, we are talking about our biggest asks for Torchlight Infinite. Today I played it for 9 hours, and I started late, and I was not ranked, and by the end of the stream, I'm level 68, and I am ranked top 40, okay? So I got into the top 50, and now we're doing the podcast, and then I'm going to go be a father and a husband, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'll wake up, and I'm going to stream for another 8 hours tomorrow, and I'm going to get back into the top 50. I hope, okay? In my opinion, as of right now, which could change, maybe the pet system, the gacha system, will be a pay-to-win mechanic later on. As of right now,
late endgame.
As of right now, I can be top 50 without spending a dime on pets. Maybe that'll change. I don't know.
Scrub, I'm assuming you're talking about Torchlight, and our theory currently running is that it's not going to be pay to win really until you are at the most elite high-end tier. Right now, everyone is pushing like entry-level endgame. No one, as far as I know, is an endgame, where you're actually competing with people who have the best gear they can possibly get, and the only thing at that point that they can get to make it better is a better pet.
Stealthy said
that's when that happens.
Where it could come in.
Yeah, Stealthy says, I'm the #1 split Firebolt mage and $0 spent. I'm T5 maps at the moment.
You're the #1 on day 1 without being fully geared up.
Hey, Stealthy. Stealthy, I want you to screenshot that. I want to see it in Discord. Now, what we were talking about, is
come hang out the Discord.
Not in a negative way. Well, I guess mine was in a negative way, but really for season 2, what would we like to see different inside of Torchlight? And what Guilty says is he is not a campaign guy. He wishes he can go straight to mapping. And what Daft said is he wants to see a more refined PC port that is smoother. And what I said is I would like to see them uncomplicate the hero traits and make it very simple for a person to log into the game and say, I want to play Lethal Flash. I want to play the Oracle Thea. I want to play Twisted Space Time. I want to play these characters, and they can select them. Every option should be there, and if they wanted to charge, the option should still be there, and you charge right there at the character sheet.
Question for you, Aaron.
With the characters.
Yes!
Thoughts on Thea being locked behind the game?
I hate it.
Or whatever it is.
I absolutely hate it. I hate it.
So it's what what's that shooter? The
Carino?
Battle Royale.
What?
No, there's a Battle Royale that does the same thing.
Fortnite?
Not Fortnite. A better game than Fortnite, in my opinion. I just can't remember its name right now. There's a robot. Caustic's in it.
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't play Battle Royales, but it does the same thing with its Battle Pass. Like, oh, you can get this guy unlocked. I think
Apex?
Caustic himself was Apex Legends. They do the same exact thing. That's a known business model. It's not like they designed this.
But it seems it seems impossible for me to understand that I want to play the Oracle Thea. I have to pick a different class and level that class to unlock the battle pass that I pay for, to then hit the tier of the battle pass, to then unlock the character that I want to play, to then restart my character. That is the...
It's pretty confounding.
If you
my
were
brain
to take
melts.
it at face value with no money, it would be a design flaw.
Oh, it's
But because money is
so
involved,
bad.
a actual meaningful design.
You know what it feels
I want
like?
you to spend the $15.
It feels like the character in Path of Exile. What's the character you open up after you get past a certain stage in the game? She can do all things. It's the blonde-haired character you get in Path of Exile. What class is that?
In Path of
No one knows.
Exile.
Oh yeah, when
Zion.
you beat the game, you get Zion.
Oh
You
yeah,
beat the game, you get Zion.
yeah.
It unlocks the center of the wheel.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, but worse because you have to actually beat it as opposed to just get.
Well, you have to
for it.
actually pay for it. Zion, you just beat it. You have
Okay.
to pay.
Okay,
$15
when I-
to unlock, yeah.
a little more of an hourly investment, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to beat the game.
But here's a perfect example. I log in this morning.
Thank you, chat.
I want to play Carino Lethal Flash, his new version. I click on Carino. Lethal Flash isn't there. So I go, oh, I guess, I don't know, maybe it didn't make it in the I don't know, it's not there. So I pick Divine Shot and I'm speed running through. And then when I look in the shop later on, it's $15 for Lethal Flash. And I'm just like, what? It's like, what? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just a beat a dead
Gemma has
horse.
the same
Very
thing.
stupid.
It's all right.
That's all I wanted to say.
It's not okay. So just because something's free to play doesn't mean they don't want to make money, and I fully
Course.
understand that.
Completely.
Entire families were funded by this. This is how people support their families. That's fine. I'll never like something I see as fair. I'll never really complain about it. So the battle pass thing is fair. Certain things in the battle pass I don't think should be in it. Whereas Undecember, like everything can be paid for, and they purposely removed chunks of the game to slow you down so that you will want to pay just
Right.
to be not
And you can auction and buy
pulling
with
your
real
hair
money any
Yeah.
item, right?
every single thing.
Isn't that correct, Aaron?
For what? Undecember?
On December, you
There
can go
is-
in there and go to the auction house and go, I
You can
want
buy
this.
them. Yes.
You can literally unrestricted. There's not a weekly allowance, daily allowance, monthly. There's an unrestricted. You can use directly cash to purchase all crafting materials and any item in the game at any point.
So that for me is that's a poo-poo. That I don't like that one.
You know what? Thinking out loud what Guilty just said. Yes, I actually don't think anybody, in my opinion, I don't think anybody's actually going to spend money to pull pets inside of Torchlight Infinite. I think financially, I don't think anybody's going to do that. Maybe some people, but I don't think a lot. I don't think it's a whale mechanic where you're going to get crazy stuff, okay?
Some people will, because there will
So
be
maybe-
addicted to collecting.
So maybe monetizing the game through the battle pass, and then on the character selection screen, having a couple characters that are new, fresh, $10
Stealthy.
purchase, maybe that's okay. But you have to still change
Yes,
the way
stealthy, I
it's
agree.
changed the way it is.
AA Ron Stealthy's got a comparison to Diablo Immortal.
Wait, I gotta read Red Eye
People
first.
spent $100,000.
Read the
Yeah,
chat.
right. People spent $100,000 in DI, which
Yeah.
is true. They did. But in DI, you had to do that to be competitive.
Right.
Our idea here is that you don't have to do that until the very latest part of Endgame.
and
Red-
did you get that far and play it long enough to care about it?
Right. Also, Aaron didn't get as far as he said he did because he did not put $100,000 into that game.
No.
I know I should have put 100 grand into the game.
You
My
should have
my
put 100
channel
grand
would
in that
probably have an extra 100 subscribers if I put
It
100
would have
grand.
paid for itself, or
Everybody
it
hit
wouldn't,
F.
and you would be
Everybody
divorced.
hit F. Sad day.
Red Eye says, but tied to Battle Pass at essentially losing money because they can make more money by separating them. Exactly. So you make the Battle Pass $10, you make the character $10, make an extra $5. Win. Okay, everybody.
It is win. It is.
We're at 10 hours on the stream. We've been doing this podcast for 10 hours.
And 12 minutes.
Dude, I cannot believe how long I've been streaming today. That is quite a day. But it was good. It was good. And I actually learned a lot about the game. I think everybody had fun. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it right here. Now, if you're new to the channel, okay? If you're new to the channel, all you gotta do is hit follow. It costs you nothing. And then you have to type in !giveaway into the chat to enter today's giveaway. I am going to start a heist, and you have till that heist is over to get into the giveaway, so make sure you do it.
And then join that Discord if you guys aren't.
Yeah.
Out.
We talk in there.
Talk a lot.
And
It's a very
Chat,
active,
together.
non-toxic Discord sometimes.
Very friendly, very fun.
yeah, most of the time. Until
Awesome.
like we get spied on by developers and they lurk in our voice chats.
99.99%. Yes.
Now, this is how
Just to
this
see what we're
podcast
saying.
works. So this is This Week in Action Podcast 35. Now, once we take the stream offline, me, Daft, and Guilty now move over to Patreon, and we do an extra bonus hour. If you want to get in on that bonus hour, if you want all the likes, all the shares, all the follows, all the subs, all that stuff helps me so much. Please continue to do it. The channel's been rocking. But if you want to take it one step further and join the official Action RPG Patreon, it's in the about, it's in every YouTube video, it's on the Discord, and it is in the chat right now. You'll get a special title on the Discord. You'll get access to the VIP lounge like Philip today, who's right there in chat. Look,
He's asking if it is live. That could be a thing.
I literally said Philip, and then I looked down and he was there. He's new to the VIP
right
lounge.
He's the newest
Hey,
one.
Philip.
Special
Pull out,
title,
Phillip.
lots of goodies. Check out the Patreon.
good
That's where
idea.
we're going right now. Philip, no, I wish it was live, but they don't allow it to be
Yeah.
live. But
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
we record the bonus hour offline, and then I upload it, but we record it right now. So that's where we're
Yeah,
at.
we'll
You
record
download
it
it, listen to it at work, whatever.
Next 10 minutes, and then it's usually up by some point the next 2 days. Usually the
And
next
Tori's
day,
in the
next-
giveaway.
Nice.
Tori's as mad as me about Undecember.
It was so I posted a rant
You did.
and I was
Check it out on your YouTube.
I said the game is great, and the two things I talked about today are the only two things I ranted about, I think.
Guilty, you ranter.
He's
yeah.
ranting.
No,
That's good, though.
I think I had a mini stroke at the end talking about
Just the minor one.
like
I know,
the words weren't separated. They were like all one word. It was fine.
Okay, we have 69 tickets entered for the giveaway. You guys get it? It's funny.
Yeah.
It's not very
Can
funny.
you explain that to me? Explain the mechanics of 69 to me.
And entries. Oh, now we have
got in there.
now we
Got
have
in there.
more. Dang it, Daft ruined it. And we are closing entries now. You were all warned. And the winner of a free key striving light, a new rogue light,
See,
is
it was Rage Lady Medusa.
Valinov. Oh, Val, you're a winner. Let's
Oh,
see.
no.
Can
Nice.
I cover one of these
Good.
guys' faces to show
It
it?
was a chatter. Yeah, cover.
No, I can't cover. It's not. Whatever.
Oh yeah, you broke your
Everything's
setup.
all screwed up. I can't believe it even won. Congratulations.
stuff.
All you got to go is to the chat and say, I am a
I'm
wiener.
A wiener.
You got to say, I am a wiener in general chat, and that's all you got to do. And that giveaway
Yeah.
is complete. Or you could say, I'm a winner. That's fine. You can do that as
That
well.
works too.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, don't go listen to
Tomorrow
these guys. You're a
morning, I am going to wake up. I'm going to have a nice gingerly breakfast. I am going to take my children to school. And then I'm going to come sit down here. And we're going to get back
just
into the
okay.
top 50 on Torchlight Infinite. And we're going to see what Endgame is truly all about. And we're going to push ladder without spending money on the pet system. And see if that's
We're gonna
possible.
talk about his breakfast in Patreon chat.
My breakfast lately has
Awesome.
been avocado toast with eggs on it.
That's some fancy breakfast.
And my
I know
wife
shrimp and grits.
and my wife now makes her own homemade sourdough. So we're like doing this.
Gee.
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
she has this like it's crazy. She has
Yeah. Why lose?
we make the bread at home as well, so maybe wives can
yeah, and she has like her starter that she has to like feed every single night, and then sure.
It's like a pet. You gotta feed
Yes.
it for a while, and then you
Yep. Yep. It is awesome.
So-
Okay. No,
Just
guilty.
eat
You're
bacon.
done.
We're
This
done.
Week in Action, podcast 35 in the books. Guilty, I'll give you the final word.
Right
I've got my finger on the conclusion button. When you give me the
Good night,
thumbs up,
everybody.
I'm gonna hit it, and he's done. I got the final word. Bye.